Hello and welcome to Motors for the Masses. And yes, it is time for another UK first review. So roll the intro and let's get cracking.
Crack. So what do we have for you today? Well, it's large, it's cruisery, and it's from AJS.
Yes, it is the AJS Highway Star 125. AJS have been here before with the EOS, the DD125 and the Daytona. Well, they are back with this cruiser, doing it again, this time with a bike to rival that of the higher-sung Aquila. The Highway Star uses a 4-stroke twin-cylinder oil-cooled fuel injection engine,
which develops 11.2 brake horsepower and 6.8 pounds-feet of torque. So, not the most powerful of bikes, but then again, it is a cruiser and not a sports bike. It has a 5-speed box, a whopping 19-litre fuel tank, and has a top speed of around 60 miles per hour, and an MPG figure of, can you believe, 94 miles per gallon.
Using gorgeous 17-inch turbine wheels, front and rear, the Highway Star uses a 120 UN Xing front tyre
and a 140 rear tyre.
That's at the back. See? There it is. With a combined braking system, the Highway Star has not one, but 2 front 300mm discs.
And a 240mm rear disc, meaning braking is superb and gives the illusion of a much bigger bike.
So let's throw in some figures in comparison to the higher-sung Aquila. Well, weight-wise, the Highway Star comes in at 164 kilos. It's around 30 kilos heavier than your average 125, but 1 kilogram lighter than the higher-sung Aquila.
The Aquila has a V-twin kicking out 14 brake horsepower against the Highway Star's parallel twin with 11.2 brake horsepower. So the Aquila will do 70 miles an hour, and the AJS will do 60 miles an hour.
The Highway Star does have more and bigger brakes, but the Aquila does have a 150 rear tyre over the Highway Star's 140.
The AJS is 2.13 metres long, just like the Aquila, and 50mm wider than the Aquila at 810mm.
100mm taller than the Aquila at 1.16 metres tall, but the same seat height at 710mm.
Colour options are black, and that's it.
So at this stage, let's switch to the boom mic, switch it on, have a listen, and take it for a ride.
So, as is the usual plan, I shall get my gear off and we'll have a chat.
So there you go, you've seen us ride it and you've seen us ride it in comparison to the Aquila. What do we think? You go first.
It's better than the Aquila.
In what way?
It rides nicer. It's not necessarily smoother, but it is a nice smooth ride.
It is.
It just feels nicer. I like the look of it more and I like the ride of it more.
I agree. You get a nice view out of these mirrors. They could have been a bit longer, but they're decent. They're okay. They're not a problem. However,
small negative.
Yes.
On the mirrors.
I have a couple of negatives too.
But on the mirrors specifically it's more than the mirrors, but it's a bit of everything. Due to having this parallel twin, there's an inherent buzz that you get because of lots of firing cycles.
Only when you get up into the top.
Yeah, when it gets
speed,
to higher revs. And that does tend to make these vibrate just a little bit, and therefore you get a not so clear picture in the mirrors.
But that's only if you're doing 60 miles an hour.
Yeah, 50, 60 mile an hour, which is no biggie, but it's just
no.
something I noticed.
You also get the angle of this means it's very difficult to read when the sun's on it. And when I say very difficult, I mean you can't see it.
That's all.
If it's cloudy, not a problem. But
I wonder if we
I
could
think
maybe...
that bracket can possibly be tweaked a bit. All you've got to do is bend that bracket, problem solved, to be honest, because it's only an angle thing, not a clarity thing, because it is actually pretty clear.
You're just seeing the sky in it. It's class.
Yeah.
Maybe one of them anti-reflective things might do the job.
Yeah, and I don't know why they don't do it, because we had the same problem with the other bike last week. What was that?
Can't remember.
No, something else. Watch the videos. There you go. There's a segue there. Watch the videos and you'll find out.
Yeah.
Sorry. Right. The other negative, and I am going to start with this before we go on to the many, many positives. So don't dislike yet. I think it needs more power. It is smooth, but it just feels slow on the pull away. However, on the plus side of that, it is a consistent pull away.
It gets up to speed swiftly.
It does get up to speed quite well. It just feels in the first sort of 20 miles, from 0 to 20 miles an hour, it's a bit slow. That could be because it's got 11.2 horsepower and it's 165 kilos plus 100 kilos. That possibly doesn't help.
Yeah. I'm not convinced that it is as slow as we think it is.
No, I mean,
it's just, I think it's the riding position, the smoothness of the engine.
We are riding 600 and 1000cc bikes every single day, but it does feel, I don't know.
It's smooth.
I tell you what it is.
It delivers it smoothly.
It sounds as though it should go faster. I think that's what it is.
Doing things.
Because the extra piston and because of the exhaust note you get, it doesn't sound like a 125, so you're not expecting it to perform like a 125. So possibly we're being a bit overcritical on that.
I think maybe.
Because, like you say, I mean, bearing in mind this has done no miles an hour.
Or no miles.
Or no miles, which is the same, but less hour. Because of that, I don't know what I was saying now. What was I saying?
I don't know.
What was I saying?
But the engine's tight.
Oh, that was it? Yeah, engine's tight, because it hasn't done any miles. So even with that, you know, on a long enough road, we did get 60 miles an hour. That is confirmed, and slightly over 62 on the dual carriageway. Yeah. And I think if we'd had a bit more road, we'd have done maybe 63.
Just eased it up there, it went.
And the engine's still tight. It's not worn in yet. So that's actually not bad. The other negative.
Stand.
The side stand.
So
watch this.
On the stand, steered left, as you would expect it to be.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
To the centre.
It's okay.
Okay. Now, if you happen to park your bike with the side stand down, and it's only got a side stand, and move the steering wheel to the right, that happens.
Nope, don't do it.
It will fall over on its own. Now, that is an easy fix, because all you have to do is fettle around with this side stand.
I wonder if it could do with a slightly shorter stand, so that when it is on the right lock, it isn't then lower than the stand.
Yeah, I mean, it's still quite upright when it's on a left-hand lock. I mean, it's not going to fall over by itself, you know, there's plenty there. So the trick is, don't put it over to the right-hand lock. Just put it on the left-hand lock, which, let's be honest, most of you are going to do anyway, because otherwise you can't lock the steering. You see? So you're not really going to do it anyway.
But I would say if you're leaving it unattended and you don't want anyone to touch it, just in case they move it like that, just leave that lock on all the time.
Indeed. One thing I do notice is that they seem to have adopted, or they've been to the Benelli Design School of Keys. Because it's very reminiscent of a Benelli key.
I don't like it.
And they're not the only ones that do it.
It gets in the way.
It does get in the way. A simple key would have been better. Ah, PDI gunk. That silver nickel stuff. I hate that. All right, we've waffled too much.
All right, so nice stuff. The seat.
Oh yeah, very comfortable.
Fantastic seat.
Yeah.
And did a little bit of pillion. It is small, but you can do it.
Yes, we had us two, rather close for my comfort, on there. And that was not a problem.
No, it was okay.
Very smooth. I do like the ride. It is very smooth. It does feel nice. It does sound nice. It's got a nice hum to it, not a buzz. But I am going to throw in another little negative here. The gearing or the gearbox. It either needs another gear or slightly different gearing. I'm not sure which. Simply because when you're in 5th gear, at 45 miles an hour, you're doing 6,500 RPM, and you think, I need to be either changing into another gear or have more. It sounds louder, or sounds revving higher than it actually is.
When I got it up to 60, it was okay.
Yeah?
It felt okay in top gear with...
Can't say that.
Yeah, okay. In
upper gear.
its top gear...
Can't say 5th gear either.
No. It was fine. It was okay. I don't think I'd grumble too much on that. I think it's just because you feel like it's not accelerating quick enough, and then when you get up to the revs, it's not really pulling, and we're just used to other things.
Okay.
It's this. I think it's the thing of the twin.
No, fair enough. Right, let's get on to some extra positives and the looks.
Yes.
So, the extra positives. The brakes are superb. You know, you definitely tell you've got double 300mm discs up there with all those calipers, and it's fantastic. I'm really pleased with the brakes. Also, the looks. I think it looks stunning. I really do think it looks nice. I love these exhausts, and they look and they feel very well made. You've got some massive chunk on those exhausts there. They don't look thin, they don't look like they're going to rust very easily, they don't look like they're going to break very easily. They look very substantial, and I think that is mimicked throughout the entire bike. Everything is very well built and put together. Nothing feels flaky. Everything is nice and solid. The light here, the shape of that light is fantastic. Really good.
Love the wheels.
The wheels are beautiful, I would even say. Very nice. They're very similar to the wheels on our Sinis Cruise Star bobber that we're building, which is coming again soon. But more fancy, shall I say. I've put a lot of effort and a lot of time into the design of this. And it is really well put together. All the switches are nice, even the little waves in the grips there. Very nice indeed. Really, really pleased with the finish of it.
That's really nice.
Yeah, I've not a single negative thing to say about the finish. It looks stunning, it feels nice to ride, as in comfortability-wise.
Yeah.
Everything is well put together, nothing is
really
floppy, and it's just, yeah. Oh yeah, manoeuvring at very low speeds, brilliant. The balance is spot on, really is. Even things like this, the horn cover and the radiator cover, it's well made. Yes, okay, that's plastic, but it's not flimsy little plastic. And it's just these finishing touches that make it look like a lot of time and effort has been put into this bike. Even the chrome exhausts are well finished, and you haven't got that ridiculous weird paint that they used to stick over the welds and joins. It's been chromed very nicely. Very impressive. So let's just take a look at that rear light. Ooh, actually brights up the white quite well. Do you want to hit the brake light, and I'll come round to the middle here. And brake. Ooh, lovely. Very LED and red. Right, let's check out that front light. Well, the front light is a non-LED light, and that might be a problem for some, but most people are saying that that style of light is actually better for this style of bike.
It's more retro, isn't it?
It is more retro. So let's start it up and see how bright it is. Well, yeah, it does light stuff.
Awesome.
So I think all those positives completely blow out of the water the few
Oh,
negatives you get, especially when it comes to the price. And that is what we'll come on to now.
So, the price.
Yes.
If you remember, the highest sung Aquila is 3729 on the road. Well, the Highway Star is 3099 on the road. That's £650 cheaper.
The question is that £650 worth it for an extra 10 miles an hour?
To some, yes.
Or is the Highway Star's better looks worth the sacrifice of that higher miles per hour? Well, looks are subjective, so over to you.
Leave your comments and opinions in the comments section below and have your say.
Indeed. And that brings us to the end of this episode of Motors for the Masses. Thank you very much for joining us. Like Malcolm said, please leave your comments in the comment section below about this bike. Do you have one on order? Do you want one? Do you have the Aquila? Do you have the Sinus Hoodlum? If you do, what do you think that's like in comparison? And I have nothing else to say. We'll be back next time with another video of something. Could be a review, could be the Mach 1, could be the Mondial. At last, the Mondial, because at the moment, all the parts are off being sprayed on that. Oh, yes. And I know some of you have been waiting for that. At least one.
If you'd like to support us, please join our Patreon or order some stuff from our stuff page on Facebook.
The links will be in the description below. If you don't, then don't. Thanks for watching. And until next time, please ride and drive carefully.
But have fun.
Bye.
Bye-bye. I'm gone.